Hi everybody, I'm Anthony from ComicsHeatingUp.net. I'm back with Terry Hockness from HocknessComics.com. We're doing our weekly Spec review video for the week of 3/15/2017. It's going to be another small week for me. There's not a lot of big books, but there are a couple that are worth looking at. So let's get into it. Terry, do you want to get us started?
All right, thanks, Anthony. Well, we got a few interesting picks this week. Again, I usually kind of lean towards the indie books with smaller print runs. They have a better chance that stores didn't order enough copies, and this is where usually we'll find the most likely potential for a book to heat up quickly because stores didn't get it right. And so one of my picks for this week, Cadmus from Antarctic Press. A lot of their books do not heat up, but this one looks pretty cool, and we know the print run's going to be small in this. A lot of comic book dealers don't carry their books at all. They can be hard to find. So if there's, again, any buzz, there might not be any buzz, but if it comes, people realize, oh, this one's a pretty cool one. It could happen.
Not a lot of people will talk about this book, but Cave Woman has a pretty good following. Anything Bud Root does pretty much has a good following. And Cave Woman Monster's Dream one-shot comes out this week. It's worth looking at. Cave Woman has a good secondary market turnover.
The best safe bet of the week is Image gives us God Country #1. There's a third printing. That book's been super hot lately. God Country #2 has a second print. There's going to be demand for that. And the first print of #3. So if you've been following this series, and if all the stores have been selling out issue after issue, well, you know #3 is going to have a small print run for sure if the first two sold out. So that's going to be my biggest pick of the week is #3, first printing. But maybe you want to grab these other later printings because this series has been super hot lately.
Neil Gaiman's American Gods #1 is definitely the big one of the week. There's no doubt that this is going to sell a lot of copies, but there's going to be a lot of copies available. There's 3 covers for it. Pick the one that you like.
And I'm always a big fan of Scout Comics. They give us a couple indie books this week. Again, small print runs, so, watch for these. Not really any reason for these to heat up. Fish Eye #2 is out. And Little Guardians #0 is one to watch. These both have $3.99 covers. Again, indie books. Could heat up overnight or do nothing. So, 50-50 chance on these.
The odd book for me this week, and one that's telling me that something to look at, is Superman #19, the variant Gary Frank cover. That's the cover B. For whatever reason, this book is sold out at Diamond already, and the cover is obscured, so you don't get a chance to see who the villain on the cover is. That's got me interested, so I'm definitely going to take a look at this. Hopefully I'll have spoilers on it early on. One of the books that I just can't pass up is Red Sonja #3, the J. Scott Campbell cover. These cheap J. Scott Campbell covers are worth the pickup. Just set them aside for a while, and these are going to be growers in long term. Midtown Comics has re-released Vampirella #1, the J. Scott Campbell cover, and the Joseph Michael Lisner variant. Both of these are cover price variants, but they also have the Virgin variants back in stock. So worth looking at. And while you're at Midtown, fans of signed comics definitely want to look at the America #1, signed by Gabby Rivera. It's a cover price signed book, comes with a certificate of authenticity from Midtown. Always a good pickup. Another fan favorite and favorite of mine is Spook House. Issue 3 hits the stands this week. It's a good small print book. It's a fun read. Check it out.
And final pick of the week, Dollface #1 from Danger Zone. The first printing sold out quickly, so they are releasing a second print variant cover. It's got a hefty $4.99 cover price. Again, a lot of stores are not going to order many of these. So this could be a potential short or long-term pick. Everything else out this week is pretty safe. That stores are probably going to get it right. Not really any buzz or I think going to be any surprise hits. So that's my picks here, but you can see by looking at my chart, I always rank each new #1 issue out of 10 for likely increasing in value. So unless I give it a ranking of 5 or higher, it's not likely going to do much. Of course, there could be a surprise hit. All right, back to you, Anthony.
Marvel has 2 Venomized variants this week with Amazing Spider-Man #25, Dave Johnson Venomized cover, and the Totally Awesome Hulk #17 Venomized cover. I'm looking at the Amazing Spider-Man one. The Totally Awesome Hulk I'm probably going to pass on, but the Amazing Spider-Man definitely. There's also a corner box, a JoJo'sco corner box variant for the Punisher this week. Well, that's it for me this week. Please remember to leave comments down in the comment section. Give us a thumbs up over on YouTube, and let us know what you're specking on.